These are the best highlights from today's 2024 LEC Summer Playoffs matchup.
Low push building here for Ice. He crashes a big wave, he gets the reset, then you can play for the Void Grub. So I think that's where GX resetting already with Patrick, trying to get him a buy.
Jackie's still half HP under the tower. Ignore coming out of base. Juhan here to try and protect, but it was a Void Grubs helping out with a little bit of true damage, and the plate will fall over to BDS.
Yeah, LeBron didn't hit the tower.
Don't need to, man.
I mean, true, I guess.
Yeah, bro, you just have to be there for the Unbreakable, and it would have been a perfect time to use it. Lebrov oversteps and GIANTX strike.
So I was about to say, I think Lebrov was a bit worried about Juhan's ultimate coming.
For BDS that he had last year, even that he's had earlier this year. I think a few questions have started to be asked around his performance.
And I think part of that is him trying to adapt to the new meta.
Able to clear out the wave, already has that Nash's Tooth. Can wave play pretty quickly, as Juhan is just able to steal away one of those Krugs.
Good lead, or good heads up from Lebrov to be like, there's chances are they're going to try and cross map. We haven't spotted them on anywhere in the top end. So roaming bot gets the play. Now Adam is here.
Flash from Juhan. Ice flashes away, and China Crystallower going down. There's Equalizer as well, but Juhan not really the target you want. Patrick low as well. Juhan being flamed to death in his burnt paw in the mid lane. Igno on the front line with the Unbreakable Will. Gets a knockback. Will that ultimate time out? It will. The Ignite ticks and takes him out. Adam gets on the board.
Excellent play from Adam. The ultimate was a great follow-up from the Ash Arrow, connecting onto both the Sejuani and the Ezreal. Patrick was forced to use his E defensively very early on. They'll also do a lot of damage, but Sheo, he has overstepped his bounds. The tower will still fall, but ultimately 2 for 1 plus the mid tower puts BD far enough that even with 3 there, he would be fine.
I'm convinced of that too, Vedius. But once again, who are we?
It's our job, medic.
It's your job. I'm just here for the shouting.
I see. Now Dragon is alive, and the Scuttle Crab is going to be secured by BDS. The bot wave getting caught by Jackies.
This is really difficult for GIANTX to compete though, because if you're walking through these chokes with Adam's ult, it's not great. Numbers advantage though is lending itself to them going in.
Flash on Silver One, saw Heartbreaker away. There's the Equalizer down. TP behind from Nuke is a possibility. There's a ward around the blue buff, but they haven't used it yet as he continues to harass it down that top side tower. Juhan falling low. They jump back in though, and look at the damage. The Buster Shot almost saves them both. Ice behind the Unbreakable, but Jackies jumps in. He'll pay for it with his life. 2 for 1 so far, the exchange. Nuke has joined the party. How are GIANTX going to wrangle their way out of this one? Igno on the front line, Lebrov jumping back in. Patrick putting the damage down from across the wall. Hits another Mystic Shot. Dashes forward. Unbreakable back for Lebrov. Spectral more hits from Sheo, but they just can't get onto GIANTX. 2 for 1 in the end.
I think they needed Nuke to commit earlier. Yes, he got the tower on topside, but if you were going to take that fight, it would have been great to have him TPing behind.
It goes to show how durable this squad is from the side of GIANTX.
And it felt like miscommunication, basically on a, hey, we want to play this fight versus we want to get top tower versus what the TP timer is. And
conceded all of your topside vision once again. And this is a good Baron force, in my opinion, because now GIANTX haven't had the opportunity to replenish their vision. They're going to have to fight their way back towards the pit.
Down to 6,000. The Antonio coming around the corner. Frontline Ignar going in. Lebrov there as well. Adam falls low, has to flash, but he's knocked up. And now GIANTX have found one. They're looking for Lebrov, who flashes across the wall, but Jackies can chase him down. Stunned up with the permafrost. GIANTX find 2.
Is this really how GIANTX is going to turn this game around?
Just let them engage for you, Benny.
I cannot believe, like, BDS seemed indecisive around what they wanted to do. I thought that they had 2 members trying to zone GIANTX away to then fully commit to the Baron. But then GIANTX commit onto those 2 members, BDS peel away from the Baron, and then they end up just losing the fight.
But it doesn't make sense at all, because the idea for the play that I expected BDS to say was, we see both solo laners on bot side. Let's start Baron, we get the double TP out, and then we back away. But you get the double TP out, and then as Vedi was saying, you've now overextended into that topside jungle. So GIANTX get the fight, they get the Baron, they're getting towers, and they just get everything into playoffs. Like, we got a little bit against G2,
the
but nothing.
funniest thing to me is we had a segment on Ready Check, which was Odoamne summarizing Giants' gameplay.
Ramsey, his first pancake. Absolute trash.
Probably.
The millionth pancake, really good. You know, you just have to keep flipping.
I mean, I'm looking forward to Odoamne's breakdown of this one. I feel like
Buster Shot back onto Nuke as he tries to slide in.
TP?
TP?
No.
He gets him! He gets him just!
Yeah, the Kraken Slayer plus the Infinity Edge. Good damage there from Jackies, and it definitely feels like things are starting to crumble for BDS. Gold was secured as all the outer towers fell. GIANTX looking to upset BDS as they're in a winning position now here in game 1.
2,500 gold in the lead, looking for the tier 2 in the mid lane. LeBron on that front line, gets the stun onto the Antonio. Glacial Prison though lands, and there's the engage from Inga. Headbutt, pulverized, put in the dirt. Sheo goes down again.
BDS are just getting caught out everywhere. The entire time you're taking this 4v4, you've even got Jackies pushing in on top side, so you lose a member, you lose 2 towers.
It's going to be very difficult for BDS to contest this.
Would be BDS's soul if they managed to steal it away, but as you say, pretty difficult to do so when you
can't. Hang on.
Let's see how the Baron goes.
We'll see how this one goes, but obviously
they have vision control. They've got triple control ward. Sheo has to walk through the Antonio and Ignar.
That's a clean Baron.
That's clean. That's clean.
The
engage comes forward. Heartbreaker out. He's looking for the knocker, but he's stunned immediately before he can get it in. Ignar goes in with a headbutt pulverizer. Great equalizer though. This is bad for GIANTX. The Antonio will fall first. GIANTX begin to retreat. Patrick on that front line. Sheo dashes forward, cleansed away by Patrick. Shaki starts to open up. The Antonio in zombie form tries to come back in. Unbreakable from Lebrov. GIANTX still able to back away. They lose one, but they get the Baron.
Ignar still has flash, though. I think he's fishing for something, trying to see if he can get into position here. With the Unbreakable down, you have a moment, but as soon as that Unbreakable now is back up, I think GIANTX needs a back away.
Jackies has TP. Patrick dashes across the wall. Adam hits the harpoon, but Patrick still has flash. Will use it early. Blast cones Ignar back, but saves his own life. Unbreakable from Lebrov will tank up some of that damage. Ignar gets a second blast cone to escape, and all the time, meanwhile, Jackies is been pushing in the bot lane.
That was a weird fight, gentlemen. I think that the Antonio has been over-forcing way too many fights in this game. Like, his flash Scion Q to start fights off was definitely a huge commitment there. But now Ice has flash. But Jackies is behind him.
No.
Nice TP from Jackies. Good punish. I wonder if they can actually convert this into anything, though. The Antonio doesn't have TP. He is back out on the map. I think GIANTX should really try and use this Baron. Still a minute and a half left. Nuke is bot lane. I think they should, try to escort this wave into mid to try and siege this town.
Yeah, I think they could even send the Antonio to that top side to escort that wave in if they want to as well, because you still have Ignar who can try and play that frontline tank, but as the wave is starting to come through, like, start to just spread that Baron buff and see how much you can get off of this.
Or you could just charge in the mid lane.
True.
Wave's positioned right now.
Antonio's way.
The wave pushes in. BDS concede any pressure in that mid lane. GIANTX will get their first inhibitor of the series as Juhan flashes forward. Nuke dodges away from the Glacial Prison. Unbreakable going down as the True Shot Barrage is tanked. Juhan takes a little bit of hurt. There's the Unstoppable Onslaught once again from the Antonio, and he doesn't charge the Q. He's learned from his last couple of plays. In the end, it will just be the inhib for GIANTX.
Ash is up with Arrow, though, if BDS want to go, and here's the connection! Onto Patrick, has no cleanse, but I think he's just got out to safety.
Nice buffer on the Arcane Shift to get across the wall. A 7 percentage point difference between the two teams as the Lebrov is caught out, puts up the Unbreakable. Glacial Prison going down, he tries to flash, can dash to Ice, but he's knocked up before he can get to the Blast Cone. Another kill over to GIANTX.
Sheo just trying to push in the mid wave as Nuke is trying to push in top, but they'll need to try and reset here. The Antonio is chasing Nuke out just to guarantee that you have the extra little bit of advantage, but does the cannon stay alive? You get the debuff?
It stays for long enough. The tower melts like butter in the face of the double AD carries. And BDS made the cardinal sin how this next fight develops, whether it is just the double AD carries coming out trumps in the end. The tank line has been so effective for them so far. Nuke looking for the flank here. The Baron down to about 10,000 HP or so. BDS unable to get in. You can see Jackie's pushing in bot lane with a wave. Adam has to answer, top lane with a wave. Adam has to answer the bot lane. Glacial Prison going short, but there's the Unstoppable Onslaught. Nuke flashes away. Sheo dashes away with the Heartbreaker. Ice begins to open up. There's one. Sheo can possess the Sedge. Adams rejoined the fight, has that equalizer, puts it on Jackies, who pops the Buster Shot, jumps away. Sheo still chasing forward. GIANTX able to get away for the moment. BDS's health bars looking pretty low. Lebrov will start healing up with the Warmogs. Jackies opens up on the Baron as BDS will reset. Nuke's gonna TP in just to make sure that it's safe as houses, but BDS should secure this one without any real contest from GIANTX. A Baron to BDS.
Suffering.
Said it early. League of Legends is miserable sometimes.
Oh, good sidestep. Gets away from Sheo, but there's more.
Unbreakable will coming out to get away from that arrow stun. He will be able to flash across the wall. Still chased away here. Antonio coming in from the side. Ignar will fall. Antonio joining the party now realizes perhaps that wasn't the wisest of decisions.
So BDS is just going to win this game now? Ignat obviously trying to get...
I already know how you try and contest this. You still have your 2 tanks, maybe you can try and get something in the 4v4, but this is already gone.
Cloud Soul secured for BDS.
But Jackie's is the bulk of it, really. And so if he's sitting there clearing waves and mids, then I think they do have to be scared about forcing a fight here. Jackie's not making his way over now.
Equalizer down will take Patrick down to half HP. The turret falls as well, tier 2 in the top lane for BDS. Gold 500 the difference between these two teams as Ignar's caught out with the Spectral Maw. Glacial Fissure going down as well. Unbreakable Will has been popped by him. Engaged from the side as LeBron on the front line takes it with the shield, but still is taken out by GIANTX. Nuke has to dash away. GIANTX starting to win out on the fight. Jackie's opening up, dashes forward. Ice gets the slow on him at 49-23. So we'll see if we can beat that record in game 1.
Be in that
It's possible 6. GIANTX have set up control around the topside river. They have Baron in their sights 7 seconds before it spawns. Sheo stepping forward straight into the face of Patrick and takes a chunk for it.
Oh, he's forward. But they can't punish him.
Oh, put down the equalizer. Patrick might have to burn the flash. Doesn't do so yet. Arrow goes down onto Jackie's, and Jackie's is shut out of the fight. Nuke shuffles them back as well as Juhan starts to retreat. Patrick dashing back. Nuke going in. Ice flashing forward as well. Juhan down. Alongside him, Ignar sent back to the fountain. Only the Antonio remains standing, and soon he will be sent to a quick grave by BDS. 1 fight was all it took. No longest game of the year here today. BDS will close in on the win.
All it took was an arrow onto Jackie's, and BDS found the pick that they needed. It will not be the longest game of the split as BDS is going to take game 1.
Well,
and that agency to threaten the backline is also really good. Lucian to try and answer some of the side lane pressure, I think, also makes sense. But
after Khan Ezreal is that ability just to dash out and dash back in. But GIANTX will take the leash and steal away that first objective.
Nice contest.
In playoffs, I believe, was when it happened. Maybe we'll see it here. Last time I talked about a record in this series, immediately that record was not broken. BDS starting up the Drake down to about 2,000. Nature's Grass coming out. Drake secured. Lebrov going in with the quickness, waiting for the route to expire. Juhan flashes away from the charm in the Emperor's Divide. Adam taken low as well. Call of the Fortune coming out in their first blood. A minute and a half too early if you want to be a record setter. But for GIANTX, they'll be very happy with this exchange. A Drake for 3, I think, is good.
And that's what I was saying, is that if you don't set up properly...
Their front line, well, I should say the backline threat that Adam should offer doesn't really exist, and so just a well-played patient fight from GIANTX.
TP in here by GIANTX. They're trying to test these grubs. They started them up. They've already got 3. They're looking for more. Sheo gets a smite, takes 1 away, so no 6 grubs. Blast Cone. Twisted Advance going in. Lebrov with the knockup as well, and Jackie's still living in the end. Adam brings down the axe and puts him in the grave. GIANTX retreat from the grubs. They only get 3 in the end, and BDS will get 3 of their own. Ice chunked out by Patrick, but can just jump away with the Arcane Shift.
The Blast Cone bounce really hurting Jackie's there, sending them into the waiting hands of Sheo, and then it's an easy pick. So often the Rift Herald, you still have Jackie's down on this bottom side who's about to get bot lane turret. You can then start to rotate Tim around the map, who's now going to pick up about 1.5k, there you go, gold lead for himself. So he's now a major threat in the side lane. At least it will be answered by Olaf in the side lane for Adam, but I still think Jackie's getting to play around him on this top side to get that top lane tower, and the Antonio will have to try and deal with the 3-man play on boss.
Yeah, difficult dive. Adam pops the Ragnarok, runs onto Juhan through the Magnet Storm, almost takes Juhan out, needs another axe, and finds it. 1 for 1 in a 1v3. The Antonio trying to survive the dive on the bot side. Rift Herald comes in and no tower left to support him. Makes it a sticky situation for the Ornn to be in. Sheo takes the kill.
That is exactly what I expect to see from the Olaf moving forward. There is very little that GIANTX's comp can do to stop him outside of mobility, and now that he's got the Stride Breaker, it's that much easier to stick onto these slippery targets.
Yeah, kind of like Ignar just was sitting there watching as this Olaf ran down Juhan and was like, I got nothing new.
Hits onto Nuke. Ignar doesn't have the Magnet Storm, no real engage. The arrow slows the push a little bit, but the tower still falls. 3 turrets to 2 in favor of BDS as they start to back away. The gold.
I've got the Colleen still, so there's no way you can really contest this. So nicely orchestrated by GIANTX, because I think getting that mid-wave control would have let BDS try and set up
2 consistently. perhaps this is their year. After watching fnatic G2 yesterday, though, it's a big mountain for them to climb.
But I think a lot of people are looking at BDS saying, oh, hang on, bro.
Quickness, cleanse away by Patrick. Call of Portugal coming out as well. The Sun Disc comes down, but a great engage from Ignar. Ragnarok going out from Adam as he tries to escape. GIANTX low, but everyone's surviving. 1 for 0. But a turret over to be.
We haven't really seen them get that control to go for early void grubs as much. Like in the mid game, it feels like they're nearly regressing to where they do need to force these fights, where they do have to rely on team fighting. And Antonio.
Ice has to burn the flash to get over the wall. Jackie's with the culling, the arrow, the cleanse, not enough. Shut down. Jackie's finds his man. Great engage by GIANTX.
It's kind of how much do GIANTX want to take, because they could even look over towards this barn, but not feeling fully confident that they can take that with so many of the ultimates down. Sheo wants to re-engage.
Nature's Grasp looking for Patrick, but good body block there by Ignar. Makes sure that his Ashe can walk away unscathed.
It's a big ultimate used ahead of Dragon, but yeah, I'd be hesitant to start a Baron with Olaf on the enemy team. It's obviously a very scary situation, even with a ZM out.
Nuke starts to go into that fog of war. Adam loves these flanks positions on Olaf. If you can just get easy access to the backline, it's a lot easier to play.
I think the Antonio is trying to basically mark him, find out where the hell he is, because they've completely lost vision of him, but they don't have anything here on GIANTX, and if Adam just walks over towards Razorbeaks, he's good.
Adam runs forward, straight onto Juhan. Ragnarok coming out, Nature's Grasp used as well. Flash by Juhan, not caught with the roots. Antonio coming in, the Ragnarok continues. As Adam gets more autos off, now it will fall off. There's the Magnus Storm, Call of the Forge God, and Adam immediately is put in a bouncy castle and sent back in a body bag. The Drake secured by BDS. Jackie's TPing in, he's looking for Sheo, and Sheo flashes the volley. Patrick can't get in range because of the slow from the sapling. BDS just about walk away.
But the damage is done. They have the health advantage that they need to start the Baron off. The fact that Juhan was able to survive that flank from Adam meant that they were able to find a great re-engage. Once again, GIANTX showing how they can restart these fights so quickly and punish BDS for their aggression. Sheo needs to get back out onto the map, but he's going to be zoned away by Ignar.
Nuke spotted on this ward. Sheo there. Jackie's meets the tree in his own jungle. And we're all yelling timber as the GIANTX find another. The Baron, their next target. GIANTX now 2,000 gold ahead, will be more after they secure the big purple worm.
And GIANTX are just playing this really well, kiting back as Vetty was saying, and just not giving BDS the wins that they really need.
And the idea seems promising because you're zoning the jungle away, but the moment you got his flash over the wall, I feel like that should have been enough, and then you turn your attention onto someone else. Instead, they end up falling short.
Patrick has the cleanse. Adam coming in for the flank, though. Patrick holds on to that summoner for now. Call of the Forge going in as Ignar looks for the stun, but the Ragnarok chase onto Patrick. He can't escape. Labrov flashed away by Jackie's. Adam taken low by the culling. In the end, they'll settle for 1.
That is very much what I expected the fights to look like. Patrick basically just not getting to play. That's the first instance of BDS leveraging their comp to its strength. But GIANTX, they still have the Baron. They're still setting their sights on this mid-tier 1, and they're likely going to secure it.
GIANTX still have the health bars to try and force this one down. Adam had to reset, so it is still the 4v4, and I think that's where...
half items on ice. Nuke almost has the Rabadons. Wonder how much gold he is short of that.
The Sterix gauge being completed for Adam is massive, though, because it means that he's going to be way more difficult to try and deal with, and just having that little bit of extra time can mean that he kills off Patrick, maybe get some good damage on towards... Jackie's as well, but you kind of need BDS to not come through these chokes. I'd like to see Adam come through mid lane.
Forge God, Nature's Grasp coming out, Labrov already chunked. And GIANTX find their first kill of the fight. Juhan chunked out with a Mystic shot into his back. Ice continuing to put the damage down, but BDS, although healthy, have lost a man. Looks like instead of going for the Drake, they'll try and get the mid lane prio first. GIANTX chunked away, Ignar looking for that flank.
Ignar is going on a very long journey. BDS, though, don't spot him out. We'll just now see him on the ward.
I don't know if they pinged him. Nuke's going up there now. Obviously, we'll see him as Nuke is in vision range. The Drake down to 2,000. Taken by Sheo with a smite. Ragnarok in. The flash forward by Adam, but he went in the wrong direction as Patrick is able to escape with a flash of his own. True shot. Straight through the heart of Patrick. As he falls in the end. 1 and 2 so far this game. We'll be looking to make that more obviously as the Baron is down to 10,000. Nuke has the TP. Now he uses it. Nature's Grass coming in as well. Ignar can tank that as he crashes down. The root hits onto the backline as well. Call of the Portrait going out. Adam running away. The Sterax just melted by the culling. Antonio just short of getting the headbutt though. And Nuke starts to open up. Ice dashing forward, takes a spear to his spine. And is down to about half HP.
Look at Adam in the mid lane though. He's going to start to threaten on towards the tier 2 as he's going to clear out this wave. So GIANTX now need to try and regroup on mid, but they're completely separated, which is why BDS, Sheo, going to try to start up this Baron.
So Antonio has TP. Juhan and Patrick still here. Jackie's TP back in. Ignar heals up with the Warmogs, and Sheo, who the team's on the other side of the map, my man. Sheo taken out. Didn't expect Ignar to be waiting around the river bend. As BDS now have to try and fight back from a man disadvantage, but Juhan's down to a third. Ice with these Mystic shots continues to try and keep the damage raining down. Ignar looking for that flank position. No Magnet Storm for him. Does have the flash, gets the Shadowing Strike onto Adam. Ragnarok about to come back off cooldown, but not yet. The Baron secured by GIANTX, and Adam is chasing Ignar down towards the bottom side. He tried to flash, I'm not sure that was the best play. I think you were dead anyway, matey. But in the end, Ignar distracts and GIANTX take the Baron.
Another strange...
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, GIANTX are doing the correct thing, right? They send one member mid, push in through mid, they control all of the vision bot side, and then they siege onto the tier 2 tower and bot. This means that they can easily collapse back onto the Dragon. Also, while making it difficult, because BDS have no vision. If we have an opportunity to showcase what BDS can see on the map, observers, you'll notice that it's not a lot.
They do have the Scuttle Crab.
They do have the Scuttle Crab, but GIANTX are doing the correct steps in terms of suffocating BDS of their vision. They'll get 2 towers, and then they can just fall back to the Dragon. The mistake would be overextending to try and push into the base, because if they then lost the fight, you're just conceding a soul, and you'd have no way of really contesting the objective.
Arrow.
But fortunately, they're not going to do that.
Well, Arrow stops Ice's back. Tempo heaven right now for GIANTX. As you say, they'll turn the eyes towards the Drake, and they do it by the numbers.
Going to do a ton of damage if he gets a double shot at you. So for a lot of this, BDS, you can see hyper aggressive on the wave states, but now you've got the Antonio considering coming in behind.
Sundisk gets the Magnet Storm going in, and look at the damage. Somehow they caught Nuke in the middle of all of that. Ignar's gonna go down, but now the TP behind as BDS call for the retreat. Ice needs to get out of here. Sheo puts down a sapling for the slow. The Antonio chasing forward, blast cone away. Infernal Cinder for a little bit of movement speed, and Ice will escape to fight another day. Still only getting up towards 4 items.
But with 2 minutes now until the Dragon, that's really what both teams are sieging up for. You do a Baron in a little bit, but oh, hang on.
Call of the Forge got out again. Ice going to try and Arcane Shift away. Has to flash, still gets hit with the knockup.
Antonio soaking up a lot of damage. Has the Warmog, so he'll be able to heal it up. Ice doing what he can to land the poke down, but he's now lost his flash.
There's the arrow. Ragnarok in. Adam tries to chase onto Jackie's. Lebrov dashes in as well, and the Magnet Storm! It's 4 men, and they're dead men walking as GIANTX get a clean ace.
GIANTX find the engage that they need. Adam gets obliterated by the double AD carries, and just like that, GIANTX are taking us to game number 3.
A cleaner performance in game 2 by GIANTX puts them on the cusp of the top 4 here in Summer. 1 game away, 1 game to decide it here between GIANTX and BDS.
Have bigger threat into the backline as the game goes on, but Bobby, when you've got so many dashes here, it does make sense.
Also a matchup we saw Emma.
They're gonna go back to base.
I think they're also just unsure as to where Sheo is. Knew the top side had been cleared out, but wasn't
Sheo's
exactly
going to get
sure.
collapsed on here.
Yeah.
Goes for the seismic shot, but Ignar and Patrick are on their way. Sheo's going to have to flash early, does so. Juhan's still coming across. They can still chase. Juhan flashes forward. There's the grand entrance. And there goes Sheo, sent back in a body bag.
What's better than 3-man mid? Well, it's 4-man mid. They just...
Grub's being secured now for Juhan. Trying to get this one on the side of BDS. I see Janky's feeling a lot more confident in his trades in the mid lane. Very close stuff. Bring around, but this time Sheo's in a position to stop again.
Yeah, has the wall to try and zone people off if he wants to. Juhan going to spot him here. Immediately going to back away, but I don't think it's the end of the world for Juhan unless he gets caught here.
That's the Weaver's Wall. Antonio flashes early. Adam chasing forward. Juhan has a flash of his own, but doesn't have the time to use it as Adam takes him out of the picture.
Nicely done by BDS to capitalize on it. Sheo using that to get a ton of value, but they end up going for that bot lane play. And I think that's where it's kind of put them back a step because Juhan hasn't been in a position to get... had to reset, wanted to pick up a Zeke's conversions, and now GIANTX are kind of stepping forward with BDS, where they aren't using choke points to their advantage.
Hits onto Nuke, but he's not the target for the rest of GIANTX. Ignar takes the kill, Lebrov goes Timber. A seismic shove out by Shea will take a chunk out of Juhan's health bar, but not going to be enough to really perturb him.
It's a bit unfortunate for GIANTX that the kill went OD, so you can just TP back to top, and they've leveraged numbers to just force their way through this objective. Jackies goes in. Oh, the play to the Ruin King. We're kind of at that point where you can see Jackie's feeling very confident. Of course, no first item.
4 players towards top.
But you are only 1 on the bottom side, and you still have the Tristan on the top end, so I don't like the TP. I was going to say you just match the trade, you still have Rift Herald, but Adam now thinks he can clear out the wave. May not be able to,
and he survived. Pathmaker out, gets a good double stun, all out coming out. There's the quickness as well. Adam trying to survive this, but he just CC'd for days. Adam dies, TP's in. Costs him his life.
And it's mistakes like this that BDS wouldn't make in the regular season. You have the Rift Herald, so instead of playing for this TP to protect the bot side, you just go for the tier 2 instead. Now, they don't have the numbers advantage, so the Antonio is going to be able to try and clear out this wave, although Ice coming back. Antonio might make the exact same mistake that his counterpart did.
Has to flash away. Has that luxury. Adam did not, running the Ghost, of course, in this game, but because BDS have spent more time around this top side, they're going to lose their tier 1 in mid.
I mean, oh yeah, they definitely will. I was going to question whether or not it would actually fall. Jackies can't afford to spend any more time in bot lane, so he's going to be forced to reset. Ends up being 2 towers traded for 2. That top lane is now a very long lane, which they like.
Problem is, Nuke is on this bottom side, not really in a position to follow up, and his tanks have had to go protect each other, so no real frontline for Ice means that his ult is going to fade, and now GIANTX feel comfortable to re-engage.
There's the quickness. Ignar immediately jumps onto Lebrov. The Weaver's Wall coming out. Twisted Advance saves Lebrov for a second. The GIANTX have already felled the tree.
I think there's a window where Nuke can secure that bot tower, but Jackies is... Oh, I thought Jackies were going to answer. Very scattered situation here for both teams. BDS still want to contest.
Adam on that frontline. Pathmaker immediately into the steadfast pistol. Like, what? Like, GIANTX collapsed well, but BDS were just trying to pincer without any claws.
Yeah, I don't understand what's happened to BDS. It just looks like a complete breakdown in communication, like how they want to approach the game. Down, you've got Jackies who's playing hyper-aggressive. Now he's got Ignar and Ju on here, and now they're going to catch Lebrov.
Lebrov gets a good knockback with the Bramble Smash, but the quickness will still lock him in place. Nature's Grass used for a bit of disengage. Patrick has to flash across the wall. Ice with the lightning crash, looking for the damage. Jackie's caught in the midst of them all, but the Soul Unbound will get him to safety. Antonio on the backline now going forward, knocking Adam down to half. Already Lebrov has fallen, and BDS once again just don't quite have the damage. GIANTX walk away wounded. The Antonio stepping a little bit too far away from his team, and Nuke's on the chase. The red buff slow, not enough to get any more out. BDS pushing forward at a numbers disadvantage, TPing in now with Adam. You can see how low Antonio and Patrick are. With double AD carry, this tower will melt.
I mean, it was a fight that was initiated by GIANTX. Soul point. BDS, poor decision by starting off the Baron. I wonder if they were trying to bait a TP out, but I'm not sure who would really TP, because Jackies was with the team in mid lane.
Yeah.
Towards the top side, though, you can already see Ice immediately trying to shove in that mid wave. They would like to use this mid wave to potentially look for the mid lane tower, which is why GIANTX have to stay around this Baron. They may need to start up to pull BDS in.
Patrick beginning to put the damage down onto Lebrov, who no longer has a flash. Glacial Prison behind, the fate sealed, and the game perhaps sealed as well for GIANTX. Lebrov is already down. Alongside him, Sheo will join him in the dirt. GIANTX now have to fight into Nuke and Ice, who are doing everything they can to turn around the 2v5. Jackies goes in, he's busted back. Ice is low, but now Nuke can hop, skip, and a jump forward. A 2v5 for BDS.
What just happened? It looks like the game
Jackie's going forward, but look at the Buster. Explosive charge takes away his shield. GIANTX will start up the Baron. Jackies is low, but he can TP back in. The Nature's Grasp a possibility for Lebrov. No summoners really, apart from Shea, who has his flash.
Oh, Jackies! Huge.
Can't get away. Nature's Grasp going in, takes the Blast Cone. A couple of roots going down, but BDS will now start up the Baron themselves. Ignar looking for that quickness flank, but doesn't have a flash to really get into the pit. The Keeper's verdict, not guilty, as Antonio just charges up and doesn't unleash the helicopter. Lightning crash, the arrow dodged by Ice alongside the Glacial Prison. He finds a kill. The Baron secured by BDS. And on the flip of a coin,
BDS firmly in control of the game with this Baron. Nuke going back to base, completing his 4th item. They will begin their siege. It's been a difficult series for both sides. BDS, they forced the ultimate out from Jackie's.
It's huge. No threat really from Jackie's on the backline now. Doesn't have the flash, can unbind his soul, but doesn't really have the option to get in there. Weaver's walled down as Juhan gets on the right side of it, but the tower already down, the inhibitor short to follow for BDS. They'll move their way towards the mid lane. Patrick just coming out of base. Antonio trying to get out of this. Keeper's verdict going down. Sheo has a Banshees, and once again, it's just a helicopter for naught, as Antonio doesn't set off the charge. The second inhibitor of the push has been taken down, and BDS have lined them up like dominoes. Bot into mid, into top, another inhibitor tower their target, and objective bounties coming up for GIANTX.
And is it into top 4? That's the big question as the engage comes through.
Pathmaker in, soul unbound, but Jackie's doesn't even have a chance to snap back as he's snapped out of his body. Sent packing to the fountain as BDS begin to open up. Patrick and Ignar low. The third inhibitor of this push is going to fall. A minute and a half left on the Baron, and all on a knife edge. This entire series could have gone either way, but in the end, it's BDS's day. Juhan trying to tank up on that front line, but Ice still healthy enough to open up the big guns. The second Nexus tower falls, and BDS have a date with the top 4.
These are the best highlights from today's 2024 LEC Summer Playoffs matchup.
Both junglers trying to tend up towards this way. Karmine doing a great job to get those early trades in his favor, but certainly going to expect a lot of the jungle to potentially try and get this at either side, because that poke can be very... Oh, hang on.
There's the flash start, upset, no cleanse. Remember, cleanse away from the exhaust, and upset, one more auto from Rahel. He flashes for it, they get it.
Beautiful stuff from Rahel and Luan. Upset. Not able.
Because of that, SK were able to punish. Did have to use all their sums to do so, including that ignite earlier for the cleanse. Isma's going to trade him onto closer. Doesn't quite get the second half of the Winter's Wrath, but will get the permafrost. Kana starting to collapse here. Goes through the acceleration gate. Isma dashes back towards Irrelevant. Niski's the first to move from mid, but Vladdy's on his way as well. Kana trading with Irrelevant, who has to flash away, and Kana takes the kill. Isma could look for him. No flash now on that Jason. Niski flashes forward for it. The gasoline gun rat-a-tat-tatting into the back of Kana. In the end, even though the phosphorus bomb misses, Kana will fall to Niski.
So nicely done. They end up getting at least a kill on towards Irrelevant now to come back up.
Yeah, and Luan spotted under ward as well, so Kana could just play safe, hug his tower. Doesn't really have to be a threat under anything. Wave not really pushed in too quickly either, although Irrelevant can rectify that situation. Only the second
win
time
out in any sort of trade, because she'll just heal it back up. So upset, sent packing. And that's where SK just using that thread the MF made, right, to lean into sides here, set up the Dragon, and are very likely going to do a similar story here to try and look for the Rift Herald, but now Kana trying to use those 4 grubs.
Oh, slicing mouse coming out from Irrelevant. More to clear the wave than anything, I thought! Kana, I think, realizing there was a TP behind him, decided to go all out. Irrelevant taking the kill in the 1v1.
She go for it this time around, and not having that magic resist definitely came back to bite him a little bit. Couldn't get the knock away from the ultimate because he was CC'd for so long as well, and ends up falling down. Nice job from SK to get that kill, but KC have to respond on the opposite side because they saw the TP from Niski top end.
Yeah, and good cross map from KC. They get first tower, 600 gold. They steal away a red buff. Yes, you lose a kill and a herald for it, but SK will take a tower of their own. First tower does still give you more gold, and although there is still a gold lead for SK,
it's the top side to try and get Scuttle Crab and set up a little bit of vision for Irrelevant means that KC get to move into bot side and clear all the vision that Luan just put through. So Karmine Corp actually in a decent position to try and go for this.
TP behind. Kana's up towards the top side. Magnastorm closer getting pulled back. Trying to get away, but the Nature's Grasp will only save him for a second. Twisted advance forward, still he falls. Irrelevant goes in with the slicing maelstrom, upset with the cleanse immediately. Irrelevant able to survive. Closer in the end, takes him with the Leandries, but Targamas pays for it with his life. SK find 2, Vladdy and upset. Still healthy enough to challenge.
But look at the exactly the HP bars on KC's side.
Back out onto the map first, are able to get the Dragon.
Ultimately, a good play for KC, right? You end up trading 2 for 1, 1 for 1. And you end up securing the why Dragon. You end up in these neutral mid-game states, because on the one hand, sure, we have these tools, but the tools on the other side can often mitigate and limit your options.
I think it's also just the information game that favors KC so much. I mean, look at the wards that are littered all over the map for Karmine Corp, yet there's so little for SK, so you're pretty much able to spot it exactly what SK are trying to do. And it looks like they're trying to get on towards Kana in this top side, but I don't know if you got the follow-up here.
No one jumps forward. Shadowing Strike is going to connect. Isma dashing across the wall. Glacial Prism will get the slow. Karna still has Flash here. Isma stepping further forward. Flashes away, the TP behind now. There's the quickness in by Targums, but he's stunned before he can get to Niski, and the Magna Storm comes down. Closer down to half HP. Luan just surviving. Rahul trying to put the damage down from across the wall as well as Irrelevant will join the fray. Vladdy dashes in, gets the flash out as well, but immediately delivers the slicing mouse to his backline. Upset and Closer. The last two standing for Karmine Corp.
It's a close fight, a 2v3 affair. I felt like
as Targamas tries to go forward, Niski is not really a play. Luan barely escapes away, but now Targamas might be caught.
Targamas has no flash, immediately locked up, CC'd, permafrost. A little bit more as Targamas dashes, no Warmogs yet for him, so won't be able to heal up too much. Has that Gleaming Quill for a little bit. Glacial Prison connects onto Upset, who has the cleanse back up. Closer goes in with the Twisted Advance, but he falls first. Irrelevant gets him. And the Hextech Rocket Belt.
another pick secured. Targamas was the target, but it ends up being Closer who drops. He doesn't have the flash.
Set up though, because it gives multiple angles of attack for Relevant. Has flash to TP to if he wants to try and get in behind KC.
Closer has a blast cone to get in here. This feels risky. Control ward in the pit. Karmine Corp group up as 5. Niski takes a chunk. Irrelevant still looking for that flank position, but Targamas marking him well. Closer sitting on that blast cone, the Baron sitting on 2000. It begins to reset as SK look for the engagement. Targamas with a good knockup. The Baron's going to be taken by Karmine Corp. Kana might fall for it alongside Targamas, but KC have pulled up the heist of the century. Take a Baron for the cost of your top and support. You take that any day.
SK left the Baron way too low, and now SK will try and get something back, but that was a massive blunder. KC just go over the wall. Sure, they get mid-tower, but if KC can try and use this Baron to get a bit back, could be great, but Dragon up and available, and you're still missing Kana.
I mean, we'll see how much KC can really get off the back of this Baron, because they lost kills, they're losing objectives. Ultimately, SK still have control over the map. We turn our attention to Vladdy, who turned his attention
Even Vladdy investing that TP was kind of KC sending a bit of a Hail Mary play to see if they could get the tier 2 tower, but now has to reset and is just down a TP, so will be the last out of turn.
2.2k. I think too consequential as the game goes on. They are trying to control this top side of the map. Closer the one caught, no flash on him, remember, burnt it in that bot lane play, and the bullet time alongside Niski's rockets is enough to make him pay.
Yeah, they spotted Kana pushing in on that bottom side, so SK felt comfortable.
They are overstacking mid though. They need someone to go and catch that bot wave ID. The TP invested now from Niski to join the bot jungle.
Had to burn the TP because True Shot Barrage caught him from Upset in the top lane as he was basing, so has to burn that to get in. There is a ward behind Karmine Corp, just above that rock face near where Upset stands. Can't quite, maybe we can see it on the mini-map, but can't quite see it on the current view. Irrelevant looking for the flank. There's the Nature's Grasp. Luan will tank. True Shot Barrage coming out. Luan on the front line. Magnet Storm locks up Targamas, and he can't get on the back line at all. The Drake secured by Closer, but how much might Karmine Corp lose? The slicing mouse from Vladdy slides him away, and Irrelevant slow, so's Luan and Isma. Rahel now has to play in a 1v3. Kana chasing forward, Upset doing the same, it's 2 more. Vladdy with a beautiful slide and glide in, allows Karmine Corp a way back in the fight, and Upset's dashing forward. He cleanses away, the Krugs get in his way. Isma able to escape to fight another day.
But he's just keeping him busy, allowing them to push in the mid lane. KC with a massive teamfight win, completely swinging the momentum.
Is that the game?
A lot of the burst is gone. I mean, those death times are relatively long with 3 of the carries still alive. KC gonna look to try.
Isma needs to clear the wave, but it's so difficult with bodies in the way. Can he get onto it? He's trying desperately to get to them.
Niski up at 13. Isma distracts for a moment, but it might not be enough time. Karmine Corp begin to rip through the Nexus towers, and a flick of a switch for KC as they go 1-0 up in the series.
Just like that, a game that...
Engage. You don't need to all in on more engaging. Rakan is good because it's a mix of, you know, the champion is so versatile and flexible that they can give...
shadowing to make sure this wave gets shoved out.
Is that the timing?
Yeah, Isma might just wait for the back. Targamas going in, immediately engaged onto Upset. The cleanse away, has used the flash as well, but the ignite is still ticking. Closer keeps Isma at bay, but there's the permafrost stun. Upset CC'd up with the slow as well, but they just can't get close enough to put the damage down. Rahel flashes for first blood. Targamas almost following Rahel, tanks another tower shot. Niski sneaking behind the back here. Vladdy has TP, might have to invest it to save his bot lane, but Niski with the grasping more finds one. Targamas almost follows, but able to heal himself back up with a Gleaming Quill. TP invested by Vladdy. Can catch that wave.
He's too late though. I mean, the play's already happened. Niski got the kill. Rahel gets the 80 carries, so support shouldn't be there. So I think it shouldn't happen anymore. But it does make sense, especially when you've already got Closer in a decent position to try and set up for a nice little push through onto this bottom side, contested red.
Kinda calls the Forge God. Flashes away because otherwise Irrelevant could have stunned him immediately. Still, they look for the dive. Permafrost down on him. Isma tanking the tower well, and SK get the kill and get out.
Very clean setup, and there's not really...
I think the fact that they're able to get some vision down as well, just to spot exactly where everyone is going to be very nice. And maybe even in a position, honestly, to contest Void Grubs after this as well, just with how quickly they've taken it.
Also, there's a lot of engage on the side of KC that can perhaps be used to mitigate the strength that SK has right now. It's a 2k gold overall with a lot of that sitting on top of Irrelevant, and he's going to be the scary target for Upset that he has to deal with.
I think it's also just a lot of long-range damage from SK is really difficult for Upset because it's, you know, the Severing Bolt from Niski, the ult from Rahel over the top, and Kana.
Oh, Fear misses, but Kana, even trying to clear out the wave, doesn't get all of the minions. His tower falls, Spiraling Despair down on him, but he's still tanky enough to survive. Vladdy going in, Niski on the wrong side of the wall, but perhaps it's Vladdy who's being caught as the seismic shove doesn't hit. Niski flashes away from it. Irrelevant chasing Kana down. Vladdy's already going to go down. Upset takes a kill, though. Irrelevant's able to get one in response as Kana falls. Upset flashing forward, misses the zap, but should still be able to kill off Isma. Can he get excited enough to dodge away from this? Luon goes in with a Magnet Storm, and Upset is left to the Wolves. SK find 3.
An explosive fight that happens in the top side of the map that SK end up making work. Remember that it's SK that tried to force the dive. They wanted to secure a tower and convert that into a kill onto Kana. The TP start getting thrown out, and it ends up in this crazy...
Targamas would be engaged on there. Riptor goes down in the mid lane. Won't kill the tower with a single charge, but SK can back it up. Irrelevant's going to be the one charging in. So takes a chunk. Vladdy jumping away. Glacial Prison hits onto Upset, who uses the cleanse. No summoners now on the Karmine Core AD carry. Mid lane tower falls. Severing Bolt from Niski is dodged, but it's a very powerful...
They seem a lot more disciplined in allowing KC any opportunities to fight back.
What do you do if you're KC in this sort of position? It's easy to say, you know...
They have full vision, and they can just use their poke from Hui and Ezreal. Of course, Ezreal pushing out the mid wave. KC have found an avenue into the river, though, as they path bot, and they start off the Drake.
And Closer looking for that flank. Rahel is still on the mid wave. True Shot Barrage comes out. Closer's going to be spotted. Jumps onto Niski. Call of the Fortune coming down as well as Kana looks for the CC. Niski flashes away, but Rahel joins the fray. Closer's already down, and although Karmine Core found a flank, they immediately lose their jungler.
That was a nice attempt from Closer, but Vladdy was just a little bit too far away. They couldn't get the combo off onto Niski, and it means that SK are able to rout them where they stand.
I mean, it's become a one-sided affair for SK as they dominate from the early game. And things are looking promising. They're looking to bring us to a game 3. KC are going to have to find another miracle fight, but it's a great representation of how difficult these fights are going to become for KC. Is the idea there is good, maybe find an initial pick, but it's very difficult for Upset to follow up. Kana on the front line is, in that previous fight, he didn't have
Seismic Shove will bring back a couple of the minions, but can't catch the cannon, so that will continue to wrestle away on this tower. Rahel tanks a couple of shots. Irrelevant in the mid lane. Pushed out bot now mid, gets the tier 2. Karmine Core start to react to it, and will forfeit a tier 2 in the top lane as well.
As you would expect, KC kind of retreating back to their last line of defense. Irrelevant makes his way back towards bot, and they're just looking for a mistake from SK to come through. You know that SK, though, is so aware after what happened in game 1. They don't want to make that.
True. So, a difficult road for you to go through if you are going to make it to be crowned the champion of the summer playoffs. Isma looking here, already used the Glacial Prison. Irrelevant going in with the Dominus as well, trying to see if they can get something out of Upset, but he's shepherded back by the rest of his team. And because Karmine Core had to invest in that top side, they lose their mid lane inhib. Targamas going in with the quickness, but a Magnet Storm. Irrelevant flashes the wall, and it's all done. It's all over, but the Nexus falling. Upset tries to get away, but he can't escape Rahel. SK wipe away a Karmine Core. The inhibitor in the mid lane will fall shortly after the fight. The Nexus will fall shortly after that. And we're going to game 3.
SK cleanly wipe off game 1 and say, no lads, we're not going over easy. Laner to the encounter, because that was really strong.
I do remember that, because wasn't that... that
was the Xiaohu meta.
The Xiaohu, that was exactly...
We saw this in game 2 as well, like the really early first Drake before the Void Grubs even spawn. Then you go up towards the Void Grubs and try and get the push up there. Obviously, Irrelevant not able to push out Karna early doors here, so it's going to be a little bit trickier for them to go for those Grubs. TPing by Nisqy towards the bot lane here, maybe forcing Targamas closer and upset a little bit further back. You can see Vladdy TP towards mid. The engage goes down. Targa with a double knockup, but he's the first to fall. Luon able to escape behind the back of Nisqy. The Dragon does reset. Can they aggro it again before it's full HP? They can't, so SK will just get a single kill out of it.
Kind of hit a few of the minions, which means that it's now going to slow push towards Irrelevant. He's got to be careful about a potential dive. You can see that CS discrepancy really starting to build on the top side of the map. Ultimately, Irrelevant is going to be struggling in this matchup. Karna's doing a good job.
You just assumed that Closer would be able to take it before him anyway, because he had no smite. Yep, I was getting there, Betty. It was a roundabout way, but I got there in the end.
No presence in mid lane either. Vladdy had already got that push, Karna in top, so it would have been a very difficult take.
X-Flash, Closer still has the flash here. It hits level 6, Glacial Prison leveled up, but not enough to buy him some time to get away from Luon. Isma takes the kill with a Nature's Grasp. Irrelevant knocked back here as he sliced and diced forward. Ruthless Predator for the stun. Karna low on mana, does still have a flash of his own if he needs to escape this situation, and I think he does. Flashes under the safety of the tower.
Karna's knockback end up putting Irrelevant.
Good play from Targamas to find that flank position.
On the upside though, Luon is opened up to go for Karna, and Isma's here, Closer to cover.
I think Irrelevant just wants to back away from this one. Pops the Dominus, still tanking the tower, even with the True Shot Barrage. Karna falls, Irrelevant able to slice his way out. It was a dicey situation for him, but SK get out scot-free.
Vladdy here as well though, so SK gonna just be happy to try and get some pressure back, but nicely done by SK.
Shared XP.
Both top laners do have TP, but it looks like, okay, smartly from KC, they choose to abandon it. It's fine. They instead focus their attention towards the top tower. Plights are still available. A minute left on those, and they're also top camps that they can take away, so I like the approach from KC. There's little that SK can do to punish. They'll send Vladdy down to go and catch the bot wave, and SK have to just focus on catching waves as KC turn their attention to top tower.
Yeah, Irrelevant going to burn everything, just try and clear out the wave, but there's so many people here from KC.
Targamas goes in, has that unbreakable will. Irrelevant still has the Ruthless Predator stun, but he hasn't had a chance to use it. Karmine Corp execute the dive and execute the croc.
Nice bit of revenge there for KC. After losing Karna in the top lane dive, they're able to take down Irrelevant. This tower is likely to fall as well. The, of course, trade for that will be Nisqy securing this bot tower, albeit slower than what we're seeing on the top side of the map. But TP, is this risky?
Nature's Grasp. Isma looks for the dive immediately. Karna goes in. Twisted advance going forward as well. Isma tanking for days, but not for long enough. One more shot would have killed him. Karna able to survive. Still has his flash as well.
So I think the idea here was Karna can TP into bot. Then quick.
Both AD carries ironically chunk each other down without actually hitting each other. The Herald gets secured by Isma.
Just see KC trading towers on the opposite side of the map, but with Rift Herald in tow, big of a win for SK. Would love to try and use that in mid lane, especially when the Dragon comes up in 2.5 minute time, to just try and put some pressure onto KC on the map. Nisqy, I wasn't sure how aggressive he wanted to go onto Karna there, but yeah, I think from like that. But in the mid lane, he's opted into the teleport, and if you get into close range against a lot of SK, you are in the danger zone, and already feeling that hurt as he has to burn his flash. Might get caught again.
Nisqy has to flash away. The solar flare going immediately onto Vladdy. Nisqy gets the kill. Luon knocked back though, and he's going to be sacrificed underneath this tower. Karna coming in from the side. Nisqy has no way out of this, nor does Isma. 2 more kills over to Karmine Corp.
There's no way for Irrelevant to join the fight. It's a 4.
Upset though, and if he's left in a team fight unscathed, untouched, he will have an absolute field day.
No Warmogs completed for anyone just yet, so Poke's going to stick.
The engage immediately. Isma falls low, able to survive with the twisted advance forward, but there he's down. Closer goes down in response. Lu on the next support. It's a double so far for upset. The dive in though by Irrelevant is beautiful. Ruthless Predator with the stun. But now Vladdy, the second AD carry. Why not have 2? And Vladdy gets 2 to boot. It's 4-2 in favor of Karmine Corp.
It's a double tap for a double kill from Vladdy. Absolutely settles the score for KC. Finishing off multiple low members of SK and now securing Dragon for them as well.
It was such a close fight until it was.
Things back around, building that blue wall brick by brick. course, walls can come tumbling down. Humpty Dumpty had a fall off one once, and we've never heard the end of it. As Kana trades with Irrelevant, Rahel jumps in, and Kana's overextended. Rahel finds him. The power of the killer instinct from SK.
Really nice punish from SK. These type of picks are really valuable for them, especially because they alleviate...
Stronger than Luan, just hoping for a Zenith blade. So still, you have to be careful here as SK continue to just look for the poke, and that's all they're doing, just keeping people interested on this top side, as Rahel is able to solo out the team. Now he can start to drift across, but he does have to be a little careful with how aggressive he goes here.
Niski going forward, Glacial Prism finds him in the column, puts him in the dirt. Isma, with the Nature's Grasp, buys himself a second. Irrelevant TP'd in here, will be spotted. He's on a control ward.
Huge mistake. I can't believe he would ever consider face-checking that. There's no need for him to go anywhere near that brush. KC now going to finally secure this tower. I wonder if they'll threaten the Baron. They got the TP out from Irrelevant as well. All things looking up for KC.
They'll keep the pressure, but I think they're more looking to link up with Kana in this bottom side. You see he's already prepped the wave, but not entirely sure.
It looks like they're just going to take away as much of the jungle as possible. So I don't use it anymore.
Beneficiary and benefactor.
Yeah, well, please don't get us on that one.
All right, on mid though, look at closer.
Goes in, only hits Isma, but Isma bursts down. Even with the twisted advance, he's still already down. The stun landing on Irrelevant as well, as Rahel has to killer instinct across the fight. Karmine Core already found 2, it's 3! The AD carries remain standing, but what can they do without their front line? SK, can they fight back?
That is a massive team fight win for KC. Their target is the front line, and they just melt Isma. Immediately, SK is forced to play defensively, and it costs them 3. The Baron will be secured for KC, and they take firm control over Game 3.
There's nothing that SK could do with this push onto the bottom side of the map. They could try and spread it out, but when you've already seen at the moment SK trying to deal with that mid wave, they're just going to completely barrel down through this bottom side.
Open opportunities for Karmine Core as possible to get towards the tier 2s with this Baron buff. The Drake secured, it's the second of the game for KC. And a minute remains on the Baron. They've made...
We beat SK in a full-on 5v5, so we're just never going to give you the opportunity to find us separated.
Glacial Prism going out, Irrelevant looking for that flank position. Kind of a long way back. Solar Flare. Hoser caught up in the Nature's Grasp, but nothing really connecting from SK. You have to remember the changes Karmine Core made coming into Summer as well. Carter, Closer, Vladdy all joining the team now. They're the ones helping carry them perhaps to top 4. Targamas down to about a third HP. A Shock Blast hits 4, and everyone falls down to half HP.
Tower's going to drop. SK don't have the resource. Would that be enough to turn the game? Potentially. But right now it's KC who are controlling the narrative of this game. Flash in.
Hoser looking for Niski, who flashes away himself. The culling's still there, and Targamas with a 3-man knock-up. Niski low. Immediately, though, Karmine Core being re-engaged on Targamas, falling lower and lower. Upset on the backline. Rahel going for him. Rahel will fall. 4v3 now, as Niski has to be the one to do it all. Irrelevant manages to find 1. It's 3v2. Vladdy dashing away from the Renekton. Closer there on the front line still. Niski trying to get in from the side, but Karmine Core have found 4. Niski jump forward. Niski jumps to his death. Karmine Core bury him with the rest of their team, and they can see the match next week against BDS in their sights.
Rahel couldn't do it. Irrelevant couldn't do it. Niski could not do it. But now the question rises, can Karmine Core do it? How high can this team rise?
Can Luan delay them long enough? 8 seconds on Isma. The first Nexus tower has fallen. The second will follow shortly after. And the blue wall is growing ever taller. Allez les bleus! Karmine Core are going!
These were some of the best highlights from today's 2024 LEC Summer Playoffs matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.